Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Time to say good morning to the chair of the Waikanae Community Board, Jocelyn Prvanov, who's had a busy morning this morning with a briefing. Good morning, Jocelyn.
Morning, Nigel. How are you? Glorious day again, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, typical Waikanae day. Now, you've been a briefing on what? Economic development in the regions.
So it's... Sorry, I'm on my cell phone and it sounds like some terrible feedback. So basically, can you still hear me?
Yeah, clear as a bell.
Okay, so with the new government, they're looking at providing funds for the provinces, and council staff have going through the process of drawing up plan for that, and the councillors were just being briefed on it.
Okay. Oh, well, we'll have plenty of chance to say what we need, but there's a fair bit of money in that pool, isn't there?
There is too, and so it's a case of, if you don't get it in there, then and fairly quickly, then there's a fair chance that we'll miss out. Yeah,
sure. Now, I went to the meeting last Tuesday, and the bus routes to the eastern Hemi Matenga is just about all set to go.
Yeah, so all the bus stops over the railway line have now been approved, and the residents seem to be quite happy about those, so they're all in place, and that bus route will start on the 15th of July, I think it is.
Okay.
At that meeting we also approved one more bus stop. Actually, no, there's one bus stop there that we didn't approve, but all the other ones are going to be up and running, and then we also approved 2 bus stops down Timawana Road.
Okay.
Which will make it easier. We'll make it, so people don't have to walk so far from where they live to the bus stop. So the idea is that people don't have to walk any more than about 400 metres, which I think is quite a reasonable, distance.
Oh, a bit of exercise won't hurt.
Yeah, well, that's the maximum. That's the maximum amount that people have to walk.
I noticed that bus stop at Park Avenue is being closed. Is that one you're going to change? Is it?
So that's actually on...
Oh, not Park Road, no, sorry, the one at Narara Road on the corner there.
I think that's being... I'm not sure, is it?
Yeah, it's got a notice.
That's going to... is it? Okay.
Yeah, got a notice inside saying bus stop closed, and I thought, that's a little unusual, but perhaps it's because there's one around the corner there, or I don't know, but anyhow.
Does it say it's been permanently closed, did it?
I just had a sign up, bus stop closed.
Yeah, well, I can't remember it being removed. Maybe there needs to be some work done with it.
Yeah, it could be too. Updating it a little bit.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's the case. I'll check on that.
The other one on the Hemi Matenga is that 22 Keraru Street. They're going to review that one, aren't they? Because the property owners there said it was right outside their place and was looking into their property.
Yeah, so consultation had been done with all those bus stops over the railway line, including that one there. I think the property that is outside, they had some concerns, but I think the other residents around that area were quite happy with it. So I think Greater Wellington are going to go back to them and talk to them. It possibly won't happen before July, but at least that bus route can now be up and running. Yeah,
good. Margaret Delbridge come along. She got $200 to conduct her survey, and that survey is to cover the town centre.
So that there is to do a survey about parking down State Highway 1.
Okay.
And so that's been done. I think that funding was for pamphlets or flyers to be printed, and I think they also have a survey on neighbourly.
Yes, on neighbourly and
for people to fill out.
That's right, and Facebook too. I had a look at it, and it's a very simple one to fill out. So, it'd be good if the Waikanae community get in behind that. Whether they're for it or against it, that's up to them entirely. But there's plenty of choice of answers to the questions. So we hope it comes right.
I think something like that's quite useful because. A lot of people don't necessarily, because there's been a lot of consultation on it, but a lot of people don't necessarily go to those days themselves, and this is an opportunity for those who, just reaches a wider an audience, really.
Yes. Now, a lot of time was spent on the stride and ride. Stu Kilmister was there. Is he from the council, I should imagine, explaining where it's going to be going? But, gosh, what an awful lot of time spent on that, really. It's just a pathway, so why can't they go ahead and just do it?
often these pathways go past people's properties, upset their access way or their views, and so it all needs to be squared off, basically.
So this one here is going to go down in Te Moana Road, I'm thinking, through the golf course area there.
Well, that's one of the options.
Right. So when are they going to decide? Well, yeah, I thought that might have been decided upon while they're having the meeting the other night, but he didn't come along with a report, so it was a bit unfortunate.
No. Yeah, so I think the report's going to be coming in the next few months, but basically he wanted a steer from the board on that. I think that's not... The funding for that is not available until the next financial year, so there's a little bit of time between now and then to sort out the plan.
Right. And the Park Avenue one, the cycle lane marking on the road there, gosh, that Park Avenue is so wide, it wouldn't be hard just to put a bike lane in there with green markings, would it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's a relatively simple, well, I shouldn't say relatively simple, but that I think it has got more scope because the road is quite wide there.
Right. And you put in some long-term plans to suggestions to the council, and I see the Waikanae Library, that's not going to be replaced till about 2028, 2031. Can we wait that long for it?
Well, I think it's going to be some remedial work going there in the short term, but that's basically the situation because of the funding situation.
But a library is sort of one of the most important things in a community, isn't it? And poor old Waikanae Library is a bit of an eyesore, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a nice, all-inclusive building there that had a lot of other facilities there, but in the short term, that's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Right. And the Mahara Gallery, well, it's going to be pushed out a wee bit too, by the sounds of it.
Yes, I know that they have a deadline by the end of June, I think it is, and I'm not sure how they're coming on with that funding.
Because if we don't get the funding and it's not supported, then from what I heard at the opening the other night, of course the wonderful collection we have will be disappearing, which is not so good.
Yes, well that's, that would be very, very sad, and unfortunately the gallery's in a situation of where there's quite a lot of uncertainty still in the Waikanae Town Centre, and it's quite difficult for them to know exactly what they're after.
Yeah, sure. But you see, what gets me...
not what they're after, about where it's all going to fit.
Sure. But what gets me annoyed is, we come over here in the Waikanae Park reallocation of funds, and I see in there an adult exercise gym. The estimate is $30,000 to $100,000. Why the heck do we need an adult exercise gym when there's enough gyms around the place to go to at the moment?
Well, this is outdoor gym. And I've seen the ones in Levin and other places in the country, and they're actually very well patronised, both by older people and by young people.
So what's in an adult exercise gym outside?
Well, it's where you can do there's weight equipment. You must have seen when you go through Levin there, that adventure park there on the left hand side. There's one on the very top, very northern side of it. Where you can actually do leg exercises and bicep exercises and all sorts of exercises.
Well, in the Waikanae Park up on the hill there, just behind the rugby ground, they've got a whole lot of equipment there already.
That's probably.
But that's just my thoughts, Why spend $30,000 to $100,000 there when that could be spent in the Mahara Gallery or something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are put in. You want a basketball court already again too. So, it's a lot of funding for a lot of this outdoor stuff when really we should be looking at the library and perhaps Mahara Gallery.
Well, I think, there's a lot of different age groups in the community, and so you've actually got to look at all these different groups. So the Mahara Gallery, so money from council is set aside for that and from the community board, so they've actually got to find the funding themselves, and I think in the short term, and so until that happens, really that money's not going to be available. So so you've got to look at how they're positioned financially, but also you've got to look at the whole community and what facilities are available for them and what aren't.
Right. So this regional funding you were talking about this morning, your debrief, is that available for, say, the development of these facilities or not?
It's fair to say that Maharagari was talked about as part of that, and that's about all I'm going to say.
All right. Okay. All right then, Jocelyn. Well, thanks for your time. It's run out of time, but thanks for your time and have a good day.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nigel. Nice to talk again.
Jocelyn Prvanov, Chair of the Waikanae Community Board.
106.3 Beach FM.